where I'm going. I've been asking all my life. I've grown tired of all this wondering, when everything seems to turn out right. So when my mind needs something to do, wants to know the future, I whisper this: I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way. So here goes nothing, I'm taking a chance. I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything, it's all on the line. Oh, but I'm not afraid this time. Some say crazy, some say naive, to close my eyes and take the lead. But I know better, 'cause I believe, even in the dark, my soul can see. So when my mind plays its usual games, oh, my answer is always the same. Here goes nothing, I'm taking a chance. I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything, it's all on the line.
Wow, what a powerful beginning. Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Dr. Maxine Kay, and I am delighted that you are joining us this morning here at the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living in Paoli, Pennsylvania, for a powerful hour. I'm so glad you're with us. This is beautiful that we are connecting in this way, that it won't be long before those who are here in the area will be able to join us, and you'll hear more about that after a while, right here in our beautiful Suite 16 facility. We love connecting with you. We love bringing you into our spiritual home, and we know that our home is everywhere, that where you are, where we are absolutely connected because there's one life, it's a God's life, and we're all a part of it. And here at the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living, we are all about unity. We are all about empowerment. We are all about moving through every experience and every circumstance with the greatest of ease and grace, because we know we are all divinely guided. And we help each other. We celebrate each other's successes. And this last year plus, we have been walking through these circumstances, not only going through them together, but growing through them together. So thank you for being with us today. We offer spiritual tools for all kinds of human situations, and we help each other along the way as we provide them for each other. And here we are all about awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And we are here very much on purpose, co-creating a world that works for all. Our purpose statement, and we'll show it to you if you care to share it with me as I speak it: living, loving, learning, spirituality that works. Thanks for being with us today. You've got a great hour ahead of you. And now our opening song is by Josh Leake, and it's called Taking the Leap. That was inspiring. How beautiful. Kind of makes me want to take us into a little meditation time. You care to join me? Let's take a big, beautiful, deep breath of life. Feel that beautiful inhalation, the chi, the prana, the life force itself, moving through our physical bodies, bringing relaxation and energy all at the same time. And with each exhalation, let it be a release of anything that may have troubled or felt anxious in any way. And breathing in the life, that sweet, pure life of spirit, that divine, holy breath, let it circulate through our bodies, through our emotions, through our mentalities, cleansing, purifying, and bring us into this place of peace and power, where the divine abides in fullness. Let nothing affright thee. Let nothing concern thee. The presence of love is here, enfolding, embracing, holding us tenderly, and bringing us into this place of authenticity, where we begin to remember who we are and why we are here. For the one life has brought us into being whole, complete, and perfect out of its very nature. And as these beautiful, unique, individualized expressions of the One, there is nothing lacking, nothing missing. And so let us enter into the deepest, highest sense of gratitude. Gratitude for life. Thank you for life, for the aliveness, and a sense of thanksgiving for all of the beautiful people in our lives, those here, those who may have gone on, feeling gracious, deep gratitude for all who have given their all for us. They are not forgotten, but cherished. And we ourselves have the sublime opportunity to give of our hearts to others, to make a difference in our lives and in the lives of others. So let's take a sweet moment of contemplation as we come even more deeply within our hearts, knowing our hearts are being held by the cosmic heart, and simply let the gratitude flow through us. Think of all those to whom we are deeply grateful. And in this consciousness of thanksgiving, we rest and allow ourselves to fill up with love, compassion, thankfulness, and delight. This is a new day, a beautiful opportunity, simply to let God be God in us. And now I would like to introduce our practitioner of the day, Sarah Funk, to begin with an inspiring reading and an opening spiritual mind treatment. Sarah?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah Funk. I am a licensed religious science practitioner for the Centers for Spiritual Living, and I will be doing the treatment this morning. But before I do that, I want to read something from Ernest Holmes' Creative Mind. The best way to arrive at the highest consciousness is to have a great faith in the willingness and the ability of life to do all for us by working through us. We must believe in the inherent goodness and all-powerfulness of Spirit of Truth. And so every path leads us back to the one point, and we must learn to realize the near presence, the great reality. There, through the door of our own thought, we enter into the universal consciousness, into a complete realization of life and truth, of love and beauty. And as we sit in the silence of our own souls and listen, it will be the greatest thing that we will ever do. In that completeness, we are lost, and yet we are found. This is what is meant, that a man must lose his life in order to find it. We are lost to the human and found in the divine. We realize that we are one with cause. I will do this treatment in the first person, and you may take it for yourself if you so desire. The creative power of the universe is always available to everyone as it lives in each and every one. This power is God, Spirit, or whatever one chooses to call it. This divine intelligence created by God is everywhere present. There is no place where God is not. No matter the appearance of things, God is all there is. This divine power created me and gave me all that I need: love, life, light, power, peace, beauty, and joy. My journey is what do I do with all that I have. My ability to create my life is waiting for me to awaken and decide to be creative in living my life. I don't wait for creativity to show up, as it is already within me. I have talents and skills that seek expression. So I choose the what to do, and God takes care of the how. I trust in this divine power, and I take a leap of faith, knowing that I am always guided, protected, loved, and supported by it. And when I do this, the universe always says yes. I am the inspiration. I am that I am. For this and so much more, I am deeply grateful and moved to do all that is mine to do. I now release this treatment into the law, knowing it is the truth, right here and right now. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Sarah. Now, this is the time of our demonstration of good. And this kind of demonstration is simply proof that spiritual mind treatment is effective in our lives. And so we have a beautiful member today who is sharing her wonderful demonstration of good. And so I'm going to invite Suzanne Smethers to join us now. Suzanne?
Hi, I'm Suzanne Smethers, and I am from Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living, and I'm here to share my demonstration with you. About 3 weeks ago, and I needed to hire employees. So for the first time, I placed, paid ads, and I wasn't receiving any good resumes. And for people that I was interviewing, they were showing up, and I was offering them offers, and they weren't taking it, or they weren't showing up at all. So I was in Reverend Mike's Science of Mind class on Sunday, and I was checking in, and I was complaining about my week. And then I went on to enjoy our beautiful class, and I highly recommend it to everyone. And at the end, Reverend Mike said, "Hey, then how about if you visualize the employees that you want working in your facility? And instantly I thought, oh my God, I have been stinking thinking. Have you guys ever done that? Well, I did. So I instantly changed my thought and my vision. And the next week when I was in class, I was able to report that not only did we hire an engineer that had already started working, but we also hired a technician that was starting on Tuesday. And since then, we have hired another engineer, electrical engineer, and we have a program manager that when Rick read his resume, he thought he was going to just die and go to heaven. It was everything he's ever wanted in a program manager. And I think that he might be joining our company as well. So my demonstration is, it's so easy for us to get caught up, and to forget what we're actually thinking or saying. And hopefully we all have someone in our lives that can remind us to change our thinking and our vision. And it's just amazing how easily that works. And I'm over the moon because I was, really thought I was never going to find anyone. And now I have these beautiful, perfect employees. So that's my demonstration. I hope you're all doing well. I miss you. Can't wait to see you all. And thank you for listening.
Suzanne, that was wonderful and beautifully presented. Love your enthusiasm. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to invite you to speak our affirmation together with me if you choose to. Aware of greater possibilities, I put aside thoughts of smallness and leap into the magnificence that is my birthright. I would invite any of you to let me know anytime you have something beautiful that's taken place as a result of your shifted consciousness, and you too can be featured on a Sunday morning at demonstration time. Okay, I want to talk to the kids now. Hi, gather round. Glad to pretend that I see you. I'm not pretending. I truly see you in my heart. And it won't be long before I see you right here on the front row again. So, we're almost into summertime now. School is winding down. You'll be going to camp and vacations with your family. Wonderful things happening. And this is Memorial Day weekend. And Memorial Day is to honor all of the brave men and women who actually gave their lives for our country in all the wars in the past. And that actually started with the Civil War. And by the way, there was nothing civil about that war at all. And yet we want to honor the people who made that sacrifice. And their intention was so that we could have a better life. Now, a lot of people make a lot of sacrifices for other people. Case in point, your parents. When you were first born and they brought you home, or maybe you were born at home. Some people are, But as soon as you were born, they loved you so much. You were the dream they had been waiting for to come true. And for several weeks, maybe even longer, they gave up something very precious to them for you. It was called sleep. And that's okay. They didn't complain about it so that you could hear. We all need to have good rest, right? But you were the focus of attention. Having you alive and healthy and thriving and growing was their main focus. And so they got up every 3 or 4 hours, or oftener, as I recall one of mine, and they gave you what you needed. They gave up their sleep for a while, knowing they'd have it again, so that you would be healthy and happy, whether it was changing you or feeding you or just holding you so that you knew that you were loved and secure. That's what parents do. Now, if you have animals that you tend to, you probably sacrifice, which is kind of a strong word, but you probably give up a few things in order to take care of that puppy or kitty, whatever it is, parakeet. Maybe you had to come in from playing with a friend in order to make sure that the dog was walked or the cat box was changed or the parakeet got his bird seed. But you didn't mind, really, not really, because that being, that little companion, is so precious to you. So there is nothing wrong and everything right with extending ourselves, giving of ourselves, so that other people are comfortable and healthy and safe. That's what we do. That's part of being a divine human being, which you are. So let's think today about ways that we can give ourselves to other people a little bit more. And you know what happens when we do? We feel even better about ourselves. So we will see you soon. Have a wonderful day. I know it's a rainy day here where we live, but you'll find great things to do. And you'll find wonderful opportunities to share your heart with other people. Now, I have the great privilege of introducing to you your very fine guest speaker of the day. This is a gentleman you know and love already. He began his ministry in Kennewick, Washington, many years ago, and had a beautiful, successful center there with people who still adore and reach out to him. And then he took some adventures and did other beautiful things. He also is my beloved partner. And that's another adventure, isn't it? So I digress, but not for more than a moment. He's bringing to you something to empower and inspire you. And I'm so grateful, so delighted and honored to bring to you this morning our beloved Reverend Mike Gerdes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Maxine. It's hard not to hug and kiss her as she goes away. A lot of things have been going on over this last weekend. I noticed that, of course, we've got Memorial Day coming up tomorrow. And as Dr. Maxine was referring to, that's a time when we honor those people who have sacrificed, given their all in our country's battles. But I also recognize that there's other people that have given themselves, given their all in this country's battles. And I see they're winning, and that's the men and the women, the doctors, the nurses, the aides, the EMTs, the doctors, all of those people that have been fighting this pandemic. You know what? They're winning. But a lot of them have given up their lives. A lot of them have made that final sacrifice. I'm reminded too, in our tradition, in our family, was that we would always go and decorate the graves of our people in our family that had passed on and remember them. You know, and when I think about the people that have gone on, when I think about the people that have made this final sacrifice, what it reminds me is how valuable life is. And it calls me to live the fullest and the best life that I can today. So what we're talking about today is taking a leap. And what I'm talking about is taking a leap in consciousness. What we're talking about is, first of all, recognizing who we really are. Now, Dr. Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind says, in page 276, he says, the greatest realization that we can ever know is the realization of the omniscience, the presence of God. The omnipresence of God. And when we recognize that God is everywhere present, you know where that means? That means that right where I am, right where you are, God is. Now, if you think about that, you might nod and agree, yeah, that's so. But do you really recognize that when you're dreaming, when you're expressing a desire that expresses a greater idea of good or love, that's God's dreaming. That's God's desire expressing through you. That's what desire is, the divine siring a greater idea by means of us. See, you and I are the means that God has a good time. You and I are the means by which God experiences itself. So ours is a teaching of unity. Ours is a teaching of really believing that all is in God and God is all there is. Now what happens, sometimes we forget that. We get hypnotized, but what's going on? We get hypnotized by what's going on in the news and what's going on with people talking, and we get so caught up in everyday affairs that we forget who we really are. And then some of the things that happen to us, if we're going towards our goals, if we're embracing that idea and moving towards it, it requires some change. We have to make some changes in what we've been thinking, what we've been doing. We might need to make changes in where we're living. We may need to make new friends. We may need to go to school. There's a lot of things we may need to change. And change is oftentimes scary. It's said there's two things we don't like. One is for everything to remain the same, and the other one is to make changes. But change we will. We're either going to be inspired to make those changes, or we're going to be pushed to make those changes. Because life does not allow us to stand still. It is always moving onward. And we have a choice to consciously move onward with life, to express that greater idea and that greater life, that greater expression of God by means of us, or have it decided for us. And sometimes the way it's decided for us is not good for us. You see, besides our conscious use of intelligence, there's this race consciousness, this group consciousness, the crowd consciousness. And we need to be mindful that sometimes the people that are in our area, maybe even in our families, definitely on some of the news programs, are not the people that we want to be listening to. Are not the people that we want to have in our heads giving us guidance necessarily. We need to choose carefully which way to go, which thoughts to embody, and which way to proceed. But sometimes that change is scary. That's scary. We may be afraid to move to that new location. We may be afraid to take on that new job. We may be afraid of what people will think if we don't win, if we don't succeed, if we don't make that high mark. You know, there's some people that you'd be surprised that have reached for that high mark and failed and then turned it around. Anybody hear of Jerry Seinfeld? Of course you have. Do you know the first time that Jerry Seinfeld got on stage at a comedy club? He was all set to go. He got up there on stage and he froze. He couldn't move or say a word. And then comes boo, boo, the cat calls and getting him off the stage. So he went home and thought, I'm going to try that again tomorrow. He persevered. And he came back and he wowed the audience. Anybody have a Dyson vacuum cleaner or see the English guy on TV selling the Dyson vacuums? Did you know that for 15 years he worked on that vacuum, creating that vacuum? And he had 5,126 failures before he finally came up with the vacuum. He persevered. Anybody hear of Oprah? Her first job was as an anchor in Baltimore, a news anchor in Baltimore. And she was fired. We know what happened with her. Walt Disney. His boss had told him in the newspaper that he had no imagination and he had no talent. And then to do what he wanted to do, but going into the business for himself, he had some business failures, 5 bankruptcies before he became successful. Abraham Lincoln. We all recognize him as one of the great presidents. Did you know, besides suffering major depressive disorder, that the first time he actually served in the military, this was during the Indian War, I believe it was called the Black Hawk War. He went in as a captain, and he came out as a private. He had several business failures. He tried several times to run for office and was turned down. But he persevered. He kept working towards something within him that was calling him to a greater purpose. Einstein. Einstein didn't talk for the first 4 years of his life. Didn't start reading until he was 7. He was thought to be touched. He was touched all right. We recognize what he did and what he came on to do and how he changed the world, the way we look at the world, we look at modern physics. Thomas Edison. He was thought to be a mental retard, that he was thought he couldn't learn anything, that it was not worth him even going to school. And he later came up with over 10,000 inventions. The point what I'm making is that we are going to go along towards realizing our goals, to realizing our dreams, and you know what? We might run into some failures, some seeming failures, but they're never a failure unless we stop pursuing our dream. A long time ago, I had a sales job. It was like a door-to-door sales job. Actually, it was a business-to-business sales job. And I can remember sitting in my car in Walla Walla, Washington. There really is a Walla Walla, Washington. And I was crying because I was afraid to make that next call, because I was afraid to get turned down again. And finally it came to me, it was like, not that I heard voice, but this idea came to me. It said, Mike, if life tells you no, fine. But don't say no to life. And that encouraged me. That gave me what I needed at that time to make a new rule for myself. I wouldn't call that day a loss until I got 10 no's in a row. And you know what? I could never find 10 no's in a row. There hasn't been anybody that's really succeeded in life without finding along that pathway they had to make some course corrections. If any of you have ever sailed, you know there's course corrections you're making all the time to get to where you eventually want to be. So there's lots of things that we can do, but the most important thing that we can do is to remember who we are. When we're faced with those fears, let's recognize who's doing the work in and through us. Or you can say, oh, I believe in God. I believe that God's going to help me. I'm asking you to do more than have a faith in God. I'm asking you to go deep within yourself and literally have the faith of God. What I'm saying is, let's move beyond kingdom thinking. And what I mean by kingdom thinking is so many of us are attached to the circumstances and the situations that either occurred, are occurring, or we're looking at in the future to occur. And they think we think that because we don't have the education, we don't have this, we don't have that, that we cannot fulfill our dreams. All of this stuff out here, all this physical stuff out here, is an effect, is a reflection of what has gone on before, of a thought that's initiated it and gone on before. And what thought has made, thought can change. You see, there's a spiritual world and there's said to be a material world. Actually, it's all one world. The material world is the effect of the spirit. Let's recognize that. So that means that if you're running into a problem in the material world, turn back to spirit. And you do not need to know how. That's God's job. That's the law's job. Our need, our role, is to keep that purpose that expresses that greater idea of life and love that you feel that Spirit really wants to express, be, do, know, have through you, and stay focused on that. Because as we stay focused on that, no matter what's going on around us, we can know that our good is assured. Our good is assured. Think about that. Because it's God ordained. Our good is assured. So have faith in yourself. If you have faith in God, you can have faith in yourself. If you have faith in yourself, you can have faith in God. And then there are things for us to do, of course. But you know what? We don't necessarily have to figure that out. Because it's always going to be right in front of us to do. The next right thing is generally right in front of us to do. We don't usually have to go looking under rocks to find out what it is that we want. It's right in front of us to do. And it's up to us to have the courage, the fortitude, and the understanding that it is ours to do. But it might be scary because we haven't done that before. And we might be afraid of failure. Well, remember that. Persevere. Persevere. And some great things can happen. There's a story goes of 3 frogs that were sitting on a log. And they were out in this pond. And one of them decided to jump off the log. How many were left on the log? All 3. Because just making a decision doesn't mean you take the jump. Just making a decision doesn't mean you take the leap. You have to feel that fear, and if there's a fear, if there's an uncomfortableness within your stomach when you are going to do something you haven't done before, See that as a blessing. See that you're on the right course. Know that a transformation is taking place by you. See that, instead of seeing that as fear, see that as enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. And if there's butterflies in your stomach, get them flying in the same formation and move forward. You see, life has a wonderful thing to express by means of you. We owe it to those that have gone on before, that have made the sacrifices, to people that we've known, to where we are today, and to all those around us, to live the fullest and the best life that we can today. And to help those around us, we need to do that. And that doesn't mean to say we don't engage in our social responsibility. Oh no, the more that we live the fuller life, we're going to find the greater joy we have in life is when we are serving others. So I'm inviting you to take that leap. I'm inviting you to come along with me, and let's take that leap together into living the greater life that Spirit has for us. Thank you very much. Know you're loved. And now we have the lovely Dr. Maxine back with us again.
Thank you, Reverend Mike. I got to hug you.
Okay.
Wasn't that wonderful? Don't you love this? Thank you. Thank you, beloved presence of God, for speaking so magnificently by means of Reverend Mike Gerdes. Now it's time to celebrate our prosperity. We are so grateful that this is an abundant world, that each of us is a divine, prosperous emanation of the one life. We like to remember that this is the truth, no matter what any outer circumstance may occasionally show. So we're celebrating our abundance today. We have opportunities, in fact, to multiply that abundance by giving generously from our heart to the closest source of our spiritual food. I have been fed today. I trust you have been as well. So if the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living is a beautiful source or close to the source of your good, you'll find ways that are shown on the screen for you to make a beautiful contribution, and we thank you so much. So let's speak our prosperity affirmation together. I choose to celebrate prosperity. Divine love blesses my gift. It is my acceptance of God as the source of my abundant supply. With joy and gratitude, I share my abundance with this center. In doing so, I am one with the law of circulation. My tithe goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly, and I am prospered. And so it is.
Gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be. Gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be. Life unfolds with grace and ease, endless possibilities. They're everywhere, they've always been, when I choose to let them in. Gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be. Gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be. I've outgrown those smaller dreams, the way they used to limit me. I make the space peace, invite love in. Magic fills my life again.
Shoo, 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 shoo.
There's something bigger calling me to follow where my passion leads. I trust that flow, don't need to know. I dance into the great unknown. Gonna set it free, I let things be. Let the thrill of life carry me. 'Cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed be. Gonna set it free, let things be. Let the thrill of life carry me. 'Cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed be. 'Cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed be. I'm finally free. You know I'm finally free, oh blessed be.
Hello, everyone. This is Edie Janik from your Board of Trustees. One moment. I need to get my butterflies in formation. Thank you so much for that fabulous talk, Reverend Mike. That was amazing. Pumped up. I'm happy to present to you your announcements for today. We're really glad you're here from wherever you are in the world. Always happy to share this time with you. And just in case your summer activities or adventures take you away from being with us on some Sunday, I want to remind you that you are able to revisit our archive of Sunday celebrations and love notes from Dr. Maxine and Reverend Mike at our website, which is cslphilly.org, and you can click on the orange Watch Live button to visit the archive. Secondly, I have a wonderful new class to share with you. So we have, starting July 7th, Dr. Frankie Timmers will be providing us with a class entitled Flourishing. It's a 5-week virtual class based on the book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. To register for this class, simply go to our calendar of events at our website, cslphilly.org. Click on the calendar on the date, July 7th, for all the details, and you'll be instructed there on how to register. All right, so I think it's time for me to say Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Don't miss it. We have really excellent news. Very excited to share with you our plans to go open our doors and welcome people back physically into our space here at Suite 16 in Paoli. We're looking at doing that, welcoming people back on site. Okay, we're just doing a few arrangements here with the cameras. So on Sunday, June 27th, we will be reopening. We welcome people to come and visit us. Our local folks here can come and visit us. We do encourage you to come a little earlier. Celebration will start at 10:30, but if you come a little earlier, there'll be a welcome home gift for you, and we'll also want to set you up with your name badge, and we have a few other, we'll call them surprises for now, to have you look forward to. You'll also want to select your seat. In a moment, I will be sharing with you our layout. As Karen Davis, our board president, mentioned last week, Our goal is to provide a safe environment, and we will be following all CDC and local guidelines. And you can look forward to more details on that coming to you June 20th. We will, for our friends in Canada and in Florida, and I think we have some from California that join us from time to time. For those of you that join us virtually, you can continue to look forward to joining us. We will live stream as well as be in person. So on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, we'll continue to provide the live experience virtually as well. So again, you can access the YouTube channel right on our website. Go to Watch Live. The same button you hit to go to the archive when we're not live is the button that you use to join us when we are live. So I think it's time for a little tour. So you with me, Payson? So you'll notice that we now have a bit of equipment that helps us to show our legs. We do still have them. And we can move about the space and still connect with our virtual live stream. We also have the chairs set up in a way that if people come in a group or they come individually or in a pair, people can find a comfortable space. And we've extended the seating to the back area of the center. You match lovely today, I have to say. So depending on your seating preference, there's something for everyone here. And we look so forward to having you come back and visit us here on site and continue to have everyone join us virtually as well. So I think that's the extent of my announcements. You keep up with me, Payson. All right. Very good. That's it. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Edie. Great job. Wasn't that inspirational? Oh, I'm really jazzed, pumped, delighted, excited, and enthusiastic about what we have created here for your happy homecoming. We will be returning on June 27th. So grateful. So grateful. Thanks, Edie. That was a great job. Now we'll have our closing number, which we did last year at this time as well. It's a beautiful presentation by the Gateway Church. It's a Memorial Day video, so please enjoy.
Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. The sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery, with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David, they add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been paid for our freedom.
Today we pray that those who lie here have found peace with their Creator, and we resolve that their sacrifice will always be remembered by a grateful nation. The fallen give silent witness to the price of our liberty, and our nation honors them this day and every day.
this day as one that's filled with peace and power and joy for you. We're so grateful that you came to be with us today. We're so grateful that we continue to be able to provide this live streaming until the time has come that those of us who can be together here will be together here. So however you are spending your day today and your weekend, know that we are with you, loving you, and grateful that you're in our lives. And now we will have our benediction.
So we give thanks that Spirit is always guiding us and directing us. And we understand that as we move forward, Spirit is moving through us. And so we live without regrets, taking that leap to expressing that greater life. And so it is.